Hello everyone and welcome to the Up Supercast. I'm your host Mina and joining me today is Brandon.
Exclusively released on the Apple Arcade.
And Ills.
Not really sure what reality is anymore.
Well, neither do I, honestly. We are a week into Monster Hunter, and that's been my whole life, to be honest.
It's been challenging keeping a job.
Yeah, it's been tough. How many hours have you clocked in, Ills, this week?
82?
82. I'm at about 85 myself, so it's quite a bit.
God, you guys need help.
Maybe. The game's been out for exactly 1 week, so probably, we do need help.
I don't know if I've ever played a game that long in 1 week. I guess maybe Animal Crossing or Pokemon might have come close at one point, but I don't think.
I don't think I've ever played a game like this obsessively. I've never, ever in my life played a game this obsessively like I am with Monster Hunter. It's pretty crazy. The game is really good though. Very addictive. So, yeah. By the way, Monster Hunter Rise has shipped 4 million copies in Japan. I mean, not in Japan, worldwide. Which is pretty strong. The second biggest opening for a Capcom game ever.
Second to World.
Behind Monster Hunter World. That's the only one that's behind. But that did launch on 2 platforms, to be fair.
True.
Still pretty big opening for Monster Hunter Rise. So I'm curious to see how it continues to perform. But the game's great. The game is absolutely great.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about Monster Hunter. We're here to talk about sports. This is a sports podcast. You see. So MLB The Show, you may have heard of the little game called MLB The Show. It is a first-party Sony game made by Sony San Diego. And it's been exclusive to PlayStation for a while. I think we talked about when they announced it that it's going multi-platform. Right?
For the first time.
For the first time. Sony's still developing it. Sony San Diego's still developing it. Sony's still publishing it, at least on PlayStation. It looks like MLB's publishing the Xbox version. So it's coming to Xbox. We already knew this, though, not news. But then, turns out, hey, MLB The Show 21 coming to Xbox Game Pass on day 1 of its release at the end of the month, April 20th or so.
That's so interesting. That really is super interesting.
Yeah.
To think about.
So you're gonna boot up this game on Game Pass on your Xbox,
yeah,
right? And you're gonna see a PlayStation Studios logo, and you're gonna see Sony San Diego's logo. You know, wild, just absolutely wild that's happening. Especially notable because the next gen versions of this game, the PS5 and Xbox Series S and X versions, they're getting a price hike to $70. Right. So if you're on PlayStation and you want MLB The Show, you're paying $70. If it's on Xbox, it's included with your Game Pass subscription, which you almost certainly have if you have an Xbox.
Right. It's just so insane to think about.
Yeah, I don't know how this happened, honestly. You know?
Yeah. It's...
So... Does
know.
this lead any more credence to the idea that that this was specifically MLB's doing? MLB was like, "Hey, Sony, you want the license again? We want this game on other platforms."
Yeah, I mean
right?
That's what I've been reading. And I don't know how much of it's true, but yeah, that's what I've read is that it was MLB's choice. The license ran out, right? But they're like, okay, well, if you want to keep the license, it has to be multi-platform. Right. But then where did the Xbox Game Pass deal come in?
Right. Well, so what's interesting is apparently Sony's not publishing it on Xbox. They're publishing it on PlayStation, but they're not publishing it on Xbox. You'll still see their logo and everything because they're developing the game, right?
It'll be on the game, but it won't be on the front of the box.
It might be on the front of the box because I think they put the developer on the front of the box too. I'm not sure. Okay. But MLB is publishing it themselves.
That's weird.
Yeah, MLB is publishing the Xbox version.
That'd be like
themselves.
NFL like publishing Madden. It's just
Yeah,
really
yeah,
weird.
yeah. It's a really weird situation. But I mean, a Sony first party game is gonna be on Game Pass like day one. What the damn hell, you know?
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, so am I. I've always wanted to play the show. They're apparently one of the better sports games in general.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I've heard too. And
I just never had an interest in paying for it. You
same.
know? But
Yeah.
hey,
exactly.
Game Pass. You know.
Yeah.
curious-
I'm in the same boat.
I'm curious if Sony sees like, or if, if they get a sense of how well it's doing on Game Pass, if it does well, if it'll actually spur them to make a competitor to Game Pass that's viable, like actually push PS Now.
Right.
Not PS.
Yeah, right. So, right. I mean, I could say, well, it's interesting. MLB is interesting because I do think, sports games obviously never get talked about, like, when it comes to, like, hard enthusiast gamers, because,
Right.
It's not in our wheelhouse for the most part. I like sports games. I think some of us like sports games, but I think for the most part, a lot of people talking online about video games are not people who are into sports games, right? But I think what you don't realize is like, man, like, I think everyone knows that sports games are huge, but I think PlayStation having MLB exclusively for so long was a legitimate reason for a lot of people to be like, hey, I'd rather get a PlayStation, right?
Not the people that you hear talk about it, but people.
Yeah. Like you'll hear people talk about them getting PlayStations for Uncharted or God of War or Horizon or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's a large subset of people who get PlayStations specifically for MLB The Show.
Right.
Now, not only is it on Xbox, it's also a better value proposition on Xbox. Yeah. Because it's a $70 game that just is on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see. Like you said, I'm very interested in the performance. Like if it gets a lot of downloads on Game Pass, which I'm sure it will, right? Game Pass, big games that are in Game Pass tend to get really big player base. I'm really curious to see how it goes. I'm really curious to see if Sony feels the need to answer back to that any, because this is their game, and it's being used to bolster.
It's almost like a
service.
Trojan horse into Game Pass. Like
it's so
they get to see what that's like.
Maybe yeah. So I'm real curious to see how the game performs, both sales wise on each platform, but also like if it just does it really, really well on Game Pass, like I'm expecting it to.
I mean, it's gonna way outsell it in terms of just like physical copies sold or even digital copies sold on PlayStation, right? Like,
right.
All games, pretty much all multi-platform games do anyway, because
they always
have a
sell
bigger
best on
install
PlayStation
base anyway too. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really, really going to be interesting to see the numbers in terms of how many people on Game Pass playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I mean, I would not have bought this game under any circumstance, but I will 100% download it and play it. Just to see if I'm interested on Game Pass.
You know what else coming? You know what else coming Game Pass? By the way, all the fucking sports games, Madden, FIFA, NBA 2K, they're all coming this month. So basically, I think even NHL, even NHL. So basically, every major sports game is going to be available this month under one subscription service, and they're all published by different companies. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. All by different companies, like all coming around the same time. It's like Xbox really like tried with
They're
this
making
one.
a big push.
Yeah,
I mean, and I think it's smart. I think those are. I mean, we could have saw Madden and FIFA coming because of the EA Play deal,
right?
But for them to have that and NBA 2K and MLB The Show, right? Mm-hmm. It's like if you like sports games, Game Pass is slowly becoming like maybe the best way to play those games. Yeah,
it's better than paying $60 a year for those games.
$70.
$70 now, yeah.
Yeah, NBA 2K also was $70 next gen version.
All the sports are back on Microsoft.
All the sports are back on Microsoft.
Microsoft's only good for sports and TV.
True. But they're making very aggressive pushes for Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think that that'll pay off in some way.
They have been for months. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean for over a year now, right? Mm-hmm. That they've been pushing Game Pass. so aggressively. So yeah, pretty big deal.
Random thing that happened today, actually.
Uh-huh.
They had a battle of the brand Twitter. I don't know if you saw this on the official like Twitter account, and they just picked a bunch of like popular brands that like just have like a good like a general like people like their like social media ambassadors. You know, they people like Wendy's. You know, stuff like that post funny stuff on Twitter, and Xbox won the whole tournament. It was surprising. It was a really close battle in the finals. It was Skittles versus Xbox, and
but Xbox won.
Xbox won, and Skittles promised if they won, they were going to bring back lime Skittles, I guess, but they lost. So lime Skittles locked away forever in the vault,
dead forever. Sorry if you like lime green Skittles. You know,
you can go to hell. The only green thing you should care about is Xbox.
Yeah. Speaking of subscription services, though, Apple Arcade, remember that thing? It's still going, and they dropped a bunch of actually really neat games randomly. No pre-announcement, no nothing. They just one day they just dropped a bunch. So the one game we did know about was Fantasian. We didn't know it was coming out today, though. They just randomly dropped it.
Right? Part 1.
Yeah, we knew it was coming soonish, right?
Yeah, we knew it was from 2021. So this is the RPG by Mistwalker by Sakaguchi, Hironobu Sakaguchi, who famously, has, you know, he was a big part of the Final Fantasy franchise, you know, 1 through like
10.
9 or 10.
1 through 10.
1 through 10. You know, he went on to make games like Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon, The Last Story, which they did a Game Club episode on. Yeah, so, you know, this guy making an Apple Arcade exclusive, big deal. The game looks really cool, too. It's they made all the environments by, like, creating these, like, elaborate, like, real-life dioramas.
Yeah.
And then they, like, transpose that into the game.
Yeah, looks really cool.
Very cool visual style. I really want to play this game.
Yep, same. Just
I don't know if I want to subscribe to Apple Arcade, mind you, but...
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But I gotta say, this game also, just like Apple Arcade games have done in the past, it's releasing in parts for some reason. And this is part 1 is out, and part 2 is coming some later date.
Yeah.
Which we probably won't know the date. They'll just release it like they do.
Yeah, they'll just release it randomly one day. Yeah, so yeah, that's coming in parts, which just seems to be a trend for Apple Arcade games, right?
Yeah, it's a weird trend, but yeah.
But then we got a whole... And also, I should worth noting before I start. So Apple Arcade games are interesting because they're legitimate good games. Yeah. Especially because they are not allowed to have microtransactions. So they're not what you think of when you think of mobile games, you know, right. Which is scummy microtransaction filled. No, like they're just legit games, just on mobile, right?
Right. Because usually mobile games are not real games. We are here to tell you that right now.
We're here to tell you. And like a large chunk of them support controller too, right? You know, so like they really make an effort to like curate the selection of games that are pretty good. And you know, running down this list of games that they just randomly dropped, like they randomly, you know, World of Demons, which was announced platinum. This is a platinum game, has an Okami art style, right?
What the hell?
It looks really cool. This game got announced 3 years ago. It was supposed to be a free-to-play gacha game, and then we had not heard anything about it. I guess it got retooled into just an Apple Arcade game, which means now it doesn't have microtransactions, right? And this game looks really cool, so I'm glad that this happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Platinum dropped a game. You know, obviously Platinum has developers who used to be at Capcom who made Okami, right? Yeah.
Clover.
So it's very cool to see them return to this art style with this game, right? Mm-hmm. And hey, it's on Apple Arcade right now, you know? Yeah. Also, the developers of Everybody's Golf, Clap Hands, they made Clap Hands Golf, and it's on Apple Arcade right now, you know?
They said, yo, if Sony's going to shut us down, fuck you, you know?
Yeah.
Well, how long were they working on this game? Because it came out like the day after they were fucking gone from Japan Studios. Like,
well, so I assume they've been working on it for a bit though, because because Clap Hands was not part of Japan Studio proper, right?
okay.
Yeah, but it does seem like I think this is more fuel in the fire that hey, Japan Studio like is just like anything you thought of from Japan Studio is just not happening anymore, right? Like everybody's golf, it's dead. It just is, you know.
Fucking dead. It's fucking dead.
And that sucks. That really sucks.
Damn. You know what? Nintendo should have fucking let Camelot work on a Golden Sun game and took Clap Hands to make Mario Golf.
To make Mario Golf?
Yeah, fuck you, Sony.
It's, I mean, I guess if we want to shift to talking about Japan Studio, because also Gavin Moore, who directed a lot of Japan Studio games, including like the Siren games and Puppeteer, and he produced Demon Souls remake recently.
Blue Point.
He announced that he left the company, you know, probably because Japan Studio just doesn't exist anymore, right? And so with this Clap Hands thing and with that news, it's just like, man, it really just seems like Japan Studio just doesn't exist anymore.
They do, but they don't. They're not the
like
same.
they only exist like as a very small like Astrobot team basically now.
Right.
That like they kept Team Asobi, which is very small, I have to imagine, right? Astro games do not take much to make.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. That's as far as Japan Studio goes. It's a big bummer. Big bummer.
That is a big bummer, honestly, because they made a lot of really good games.
Yeah. But I guess back to Up Arcade, man, isn't it wild? They're just like, hey, here you go. Here's all these pretty cool looking games.
It's wild, and I can't wait for all these games to come to the Nintendo Switch.
I hope, because Apple Arcade games have a pretty strong rate of end up coming to Switch later, right?
Yes.
But not all of them do, in fairness.
All of them. Like that. There's that one Way Forward game with like the bugs, the dinosaur bugs. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a running gun shooter, and I want to play that fucking game because I like Way Forward a lot, and the art style looks cool. But yeah, it's still exclusive to Apple Arcade, and it's like, damn it.
And that Choo Choo Rocket game never came out either to other platforms. Yeah, there was a randomly Choo Choo Rocket game, you know. Like Apple Arcade gets some very cool looking stuff, and I mean, I do have Apple devices and I have a controller, so I might just end up booting it up. We'll see. But because but I hope they come to Switch.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, I have no way to play any of these games, so yeah, and I want to play Fantasian and that other game, World of Demons. They both look cool, and I want to play them. So yeah, please put them on Switch at some point. I don't know if they have like a deal with Apple, like a 1 year,
like
or
whatever, a window, exclusivity window or something. Yeah. Maybe. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, really cool looking games. Apple Arcade. They're really trying, you know?
Clearly.
But what I really wonder what the deal is with their strategy.
Do they have they have a developer studio or something? Like a self, or like...
I don't think so. I think they just go look out for developers and say, hey, make a game for us. Here's a check, you know? I mean, it's working. They're getting a lot of talent. I mean, like, even studios like... Remember, Capcom released a game that was originally exclusive to Apple Arcade, Shin Sakai, which is now on Switch. But still, you know, and that was rated really well too. Like, they're getting a lot of developers to make really cool games for this, you know? Also worth noting, I mentioned the microtransaction thing. NBA 2K, very much known for microtransactions. Somehow Apple got 2K to make a completely, like, standalone version of 2K for Apple Arcade. No microtransactions, no nothing, which is like, how the hell did you pull that off?
Right?
These games are known to have so many microtransactions.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, there's an Apple Arcade version now that's just, hey, here's 2K. No microtransactions.
I mean, that's all they... So, how do
they
live?
They're paying these developers pretty well, I feel, right? Like,
yeah.
If they can convince that to happen, like, damn. Weird service. Very weird service. In other weird news, Cyberpunk. You may remember a little game called Cyberpunk. By the way, still not back on the PlayStation Store.
Been over 100 days and it's not on the PlayStation Store. That's insane. I would have thought, I was thinking it was going to be gone for like a month or two until a patch came out. And a big patch just came out. It's still fucking gone.
No, still not there. Still hasn't. Yeah, so that's a weird thing. But so originally, I don't know if you remember, but Cyberpunk CDPR announced that like a year or originally they were scheduling it for just a year later. A year after Cyberpunk came out, they wanted to release a standalone multiplayer game based on the world of Cyberpunk, right? So similar to like if GTA Online, but like if that was just standalone instead of which I guess now it is. But at launch it was with GTA 5, and this thing they just wanted to make it fully standalone.
Can you buy GTA Online standalone? I don't think you can.
Now you can, I believe. I think just recently, yeah. But they canceled this game. It's not happening anymore.
Too embarrassed.
I mean, I guess Cyberpunk is too much of a disaster. Part of this comes from a whole the news about them restructuring the company. They want to be able to make multiple games at a time. They specifically mentioned we want staff working on our hit franchises like The Witcher and Cyberpunk simultaneously.
They're calling Cyberpunk a hit franchise now.
I guess
it sell like 11 million copies.
That's true.
Yeah, it sold a lot, but but in that same thing, they did mention part of the reason for the restructure is also because because Cyberpunk really did tank their reputation. Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, Cyberpunk multiplayer game not happening anymore.
Video games are crazy.
Is anyone really upset about this news though? Do you think anyone's like, oh man, drat, I really want to play that Cyberpunk multiplayer game?
I don't know. There's got to be somebody, but
I'm sure
I don't know who that person is, and I probably.
But at this point, after Cyberpunk came out and was the mess that it was, right?
Yeah.
And those kind of glitches and bugs, they already didn't fly, but especially in a multiplayer game, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't think that that would have gone over well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, goodbye, Sweet Prince.
I'm crying
Good night,
right
Sweet
now.
Prince. Yeah.
I'll never get over it. I think I'm done playing video games, honestly, probably for the rest of my life.
Yeah, same.
I mean, what's the point, right? No Cyberpunk multiplayer game?
What's the point?
What am I gonna do? Play Cyberpunk?
Oh, a quick update on last week's news. The PlayStation stores, PS3, PSP, PS Vita, they are confirmed to be going down. So we talked a lot about it last week, so I'm not going to retread that. But yeah, that's official.
Did we say the dates last week? Well, I think we had the dates,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, we had the dates leaked as well with that. But yeah. But it's been fully confirmed. It's happening. So if you thought that, oh, maybe not, no, it's happening.
Go right now and download, Klonoa and whatever other PS1 guys. I don't know why that's the only PS1 game I think of.
Klonoa, yeah.
Go download a bunch of good PS1 games and PS2 games on the PS3 store while you can. Because PlayStation 3, right, had a bunch of PS1, PS2 games on their store. And you can download them and play them on the Vita, too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, why did they not continue that on the PlayStation 4?
I don't know. They have, it's weird. I mean, I think part of it is because there'd be this expectation of if you already bought it, you get to keep it. And they were like, that's not worth the money to port it then. Which is a little scummy, especially when you see Microsoft on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. It just sucks, and all their legacy content is just not going to be available now, and it's yeah, the PS1, the fact that they never tried to resell PS1 games after the PS3 and PSP.
$5 a piece? I mean, come on. You tell me people wouldn't buy that. People would buy that. Come on. I'd buy that.
Come on. I'd buy it. But here we are.
No, sell us fucking a PS1 Classic, right? That's a half-assed piece of shit that I paid $100 for some stupid reason.
I forgot that existed. I can't believe you bought that day one, because Lord have mercy.
It literally fucking went on sale, a couple weeks later.
Yeah, I saw it literally months later. I saw it go on sale for $20.
$20. I paid $100 for it at fucking launch. What a ripoff! I got ripped off.
Yep.
But you live and learn.
You live and learn. Well, we're also gonna live and learn in our last segment of the day. Can't go a podcast without doing it. The list.
The list.
So, you can keep up in the paste bin in the description below. You're going to do that because basically every week we add a game to this ever-growing list, and we basically rank that game against every other game we've added. So last week, what did we add?
Oh, well, a video game.
Monster
Noah
Hunter
added
Generation.
it. Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, we had Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. And that got to number
50-something.
53.
53.
I put all these things up for a reason.
Yeah, I know. I didn't have it up. I'm sorry. So this week, who's adding?
Ills.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
What you got for us?
I don't have anything left that I can pick from the old list. So I guess
No?
that's something new.
Wow, we finally did it. I mean, the old list.
Well, it's not done, but we don't.
But
he doesn't have the.
There's
the
really
numbers.
nothing on there that all three of us have played.
No.
Wow,
Dang.
That's damn. Yeah. No, you're right. Are you sure? Wait, Ilse, have you ever played Donkey Kong 64?
No.
Okay, well, I guess you're right. You never played Catherine, right?
Not yet.
Okay, so fuck.
Huh. Well, I guess we were supposed to do that Mario thing, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that went out the window.
that didn't happen. So instead of doing that, we're gonna put Super Mario 3D World on the list.
Oh,
Oh god.
Super Mario 3D World. What is 3D World?
It is a Super Mario game that originally came out for the Wii U. It was a 4-player tailored experience. You could play it single player, of course, or any combination of people. It's a 3D platformer. It's pretty dang fun. There's a great art style. Yeah, go ahead. You can take it from there.
Sure. I mean, I adore this game. This is, one of my favorite, if not my favorite Mario games. I guess what sets this apart from other 3D games is it's not like it's course based, right?
Yeah.
It heavily takes inspiration from the 2D game, so it has flagpoles, it has timers. You're getting from start to finish, right? You still find collectibles along the way, of course. You find 5 green stars, but
5.
Yeah,
3.
It's 5. Yeah, it's 5.
It's 3.
It's 3. Oh, I'm thinking wait.
It's 3.
Yeah, it is 3. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was 5.
5 is the Captain Toad levels.
Captain Toad. I was thinking Captain Toad. That's what I said. Yeah. You collect 3 green stars along the way. And speaking of Captain Toad, so they intersperse them with different types of levels. The Captain Toad levels are little weird dioramas that you have to explore. There's the puzzle box levels where you just speed through little mini challenges in a row, right? There's a lot of content in this game, a lot of levels. And so we're noting the Switch version made this game just a whole lot better, by the way. The game is faster now, like way faster.
That's why you fear the Toad.
Yeah. They made Captain Toad multiplayer. They added online multiplayer. That's a big deal, right? Which works really well, too.
Yep.
We didn't have many issues with the online. Yeah, this whole game is playable online. They had a big expansion, Bowser's Fury, though I don't even know how we would consider that. It's a whole weird thing in of itself. I think to a lot of people this game was a disappointment because it didn't have that more open explore the world type of deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I find this game to be just bursting with creativity. Every level is just offering you something crazy, something they really get hung up on this one idea for that one level. They utilize it to its max, and then they just throw it away for the next level.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun, That's just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this game is just bursting with ideas, and you can feel it every corner. Oh, by the way, I guess it should be mentioned. It's 4 players. Each player, unlike the New Super Mario Brothers games, they have different attributes, right? Like Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah.
So Peach floats, Toad is faster, Luigi has his
floaty jump,
but he's slippery, and even Rosalina's in this game.
Rosalina.
Yeah. I think this is a very like I think 3D Land started this formula, but I think 3D World perfected it, right? Of just like I mean this game is it's just so creative. It really is. And it just bursts with ideas. I adore it. Where do you want it, Ilse?
Oof. Oh man. Well, it's a question there. I want it above Red Dead Redemption. So
Okay.
anywhere in that range.
I'm already okay with that. Yeah, that's fine.
Where do you want it?
I don't want to answer that.
I can answer it if you want me to answer it.
Yeah, sure.
Underneath Ocarina of Time.
Underneath Ocarina of Time. I'd be fine with that. I would maybe... I would probably split Link's Awakening and Twilight Princess up. Sandwich it in between there.
I like that actually a lot. Break that shit up.
Break that shit up. That's not the reason, mind you, but it's a nice nice side effect, you know?
I do... You know what? What you said? Between Link's Awakening and Twilight Princess?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I mean, this game, we didn't even mention, one thing I love about this game, you've already said a lot of things that I would say, but the music is fucking fantastic.
Music is
I fucking
so
love
good in this game. But such a good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth noting, like, this game is an incredible single-player game, and it's also an incredible multiplayer game, you know?
Yeah.
It's
like,
almost a different game in multiplayer.
It feels like a different game in multiplayer, it really does,
It really
right?
threw
But
me
it's like...
off when I first played it. I was like, whoa, hold on, this is like not what I remember this game being like.
Yeah, but it's a ton of fun either way, you know? Because, you know, sometimes the multiplayer games got like, oh, you can clearly tell it's designed for one way or another, and it's not fun in the other mode. I think this game balances both modes really well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about balance, but, like, you know, the level design works either way.
I feel like this game was designed for multiplayer. I mean,
yeah, no, it definitely was.
That was the whole hook.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's still a phenomenal game by yourself, you know? I sincerely believe that. I think that the level design shines even when you're playing solo.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the camera is fucking insane when you're playing multiplayer. Like,
yeah,
you never tell what it's gonna do.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
It gets a little wonky.
Like, we'll just randomly pick somebody to follow. It's like you think it's player one, but sometimes it's not. You don't know what's gonna do.
I don't have a strong sense of why it does what it does.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
But
well, my sense is that I think
but...
it follows the person who's in front and who has moved last. So if you're behind but you've moved last, then it follows you. But if you're in front and you've moved last, then it will follow you the whole way. And it's very weird. Move last meaning currently moving. Like if you stop for any moment, you'll be left behind.
Then it'll recalibrate to whoever moved last. Yeah,
but even that is like a very tenuous thought.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah. Power ups, I love them. By the way.
Oh yeah, I mean I think this is the best like iteration of power ups in 3D Mario, maybe Mario period. I think there's just so many of them, and they're all really fun to use. You know, and the new ones especially are just a lot. Like Cat Mario is very fun to play around with. You know, the double cherry. The double cherry is such a fun power up. You know, like it's like such a fun idea. It really adds to the craziness in multiplayer, by the way, when you just have all these goddamn characters, right? But it's like, it's fun.
Also, I think this is like...
I really
I think this is like my favorite Mario game in terms of aesthetic. I think it's the best looking Mario game there is.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really think this is like... It feels like an aesthetic that is like quintessential Mario, but in a way that still feels fresh and fun, you know? Like, because it's very pretty. It's such a pretty game, right? But it still it like, because New Super Mario Bros. Has a Mario aesthetic, but it's very tired aesthetic, right? And when this game was initially revealed, a lot of people thought, "Oh, this is just New Super Mario Bros. In 3D," but it's really not, right? Like it really, especially art style wise, it does. Maybe it's more subtle, but it does a lot to make it just feel a lot more fresh than New Super Mario Brothers does. You know.
Mm-hmm. Also,
so where do you want it?
Also, those fucking Plessy, is it Plessy?
Plessy.
Fuck those levels.
The Plessy levels. Yeah.
In multiplayer, those are fucking insane.
No, those are nightmare multiplayer, yeah.
Why does everyone have control of Plessy?
Well, what else are they gonna do? Just wait.
Not include those games.
True.
Those levels should be single player only. Just like Captain Toad used to be, you know?
Let's put it above Wind Waker. Just to really stab Will in the face.
I don't like that.
I mean, I like that, but I don't know if you're being genuine or not, but I like that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Okay. That's where I wanted to put it, but I didn't want to say it because I thought there was no way in hell.
In fact, hate that.
Why don't you say it?
Okay, well.
No, I'm joking. I wanted below Mother 3.
Well, wow.
Okay.
Why would you hurt me like that? You got me all excited. I was like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. No.
180. Below Mother 3.
So you want it below Mother 3. So you want the lowest of anyone.
Yeah. Okay. I love the game. But, I mean.
Yeah.
Mother 3.
Mother 3. I mean, I get it.
I like that too because it splits up Mother 3 and Earthbound, but...
Brandon, I'll let you decide. I want it as high as possible, so whatever the fuck you want it.
So you want it as high as possible, but my highest I would be willing to go. So it's pretty much either underneath Link's Awakening or underneath Mother 3.
Sure. I'm whatever you think is best.
Put it underneath Link's Awakening.
Okay.
It's just, yeah. I would move Mother 3 up, if I'm being real. You know? So, yeah.
Maybe we need to do that. So, it is now at number 17. So, number 15 through 19 surrounding it, we have Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Super Mario 3D World, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. One day we'll split up Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time.
That'd be a good day.
And one day maybe we'll even separate Earthbound and Mother 3, you know? But until then...
We'll put Odyssey in between them.
Yeah. So until then, if you want to find out when we do it, we do a podcast every single Monday. So you can follow us on pretty much wherever you can find a podcast, except for Spotify. We're also on social media. You can find us on Twitter. You can that's when you can find out when new episodes go live. When new Game Club go live. That's our other show. Brandon hosts the Game Club. Last time they did Super Lucky's Tale. New Super Lucky's Tale. And this time they're playing Eco. That goes live every other Thursday, so be sure to check that out. They rank the games that they played on the list afterwards. So if you care about the list canon, important to note. Also, we stream on Twitch sometimes. Stream a variety of games. Fall Guys, Demon Souls, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Who knows? Whatever we feel like, you know? A lot of streaming going on, though. So be sure to check us out, twitch.tv/Up Supercast. We're also on other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, comment on the videos, tweet at us, whatever. Let us know. We'll reply, you know. Just let's have a conversation, you know? But until then, thank you for listening. Brandon, you want to take us out?
Sure. Hey, if you're listening to this podcast right now, and you don't have Xbox Game Pass, what are you doing? I know you got a PC. I know you do. And if you don't have an Xbox, you know, maybe buy one, you know? Or don't. I don't really care. But Xbox Game Pass, good deal if you want to play a bunch of cool indie games and a bunch of video games. They had like an indie thing recently, by the way, that we didn't even talk about. There's a bunch of cool indie games coming to Game Pass. And subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online if you want to play NES and Super NES games. You know, buy a Nintendo Switch. And there's a bunch of free games coming to PlayStation. So if you have a PlayStation and PlayStation Plus, a whole bunch of free video games. Listen, there's deals upon deals to get video games out there. So take advantage of them. If you want to know, tweet us. We'll tell you. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Go play video games. Go be nice to each other. And give your mom a hug.